Experts say the lives of some of the most vulnerable people are being put at risk by funding cuts to drug and alcohol rehab centres. Now, a rehab centre in Bristol has turned to the private sector for money as local authorities cut funding. Our Home Affairs correspondent Charlotte Callan reports.
The more isolated I became, the further I guess I sank, and I ended up homeless. I was a homeless street beggar and street junkie. There's no other word for it.
Radcliffe said he'd given up hope before he came here to Chandos House, Bristol's only residential rehab centre for men.
I had complete organ failure and spent 2 months in a coma. And don't really remember much about it, other than the fact that my family were told, my children were told, and they were all terrified. They thought I was going to die.
After being abused at boarding school, he says he fell into a world of drink and drugs. But then his doctor suggested help.
I think this place could help anyone at any stage. I don't think you have to get to the point that I got to.
For many, a long-term addiction is a death sentence. According to the ONS, there were more drug and alcohol-related deaths this year than any year since records began. And Public Health England estimate drug and alcohol addiction cost the country £36.4 billion. That's the same as the defence budget in 2015. Addiction affects people from all backgrounds, rich or poor alike, and users come here from all over the country for treatment. But with Bristol City Council alone aiming to save 5%, around £81,000 from addiction services next year, the team here are increasingly relying on donations to keep them going.
They're almost as though there's a lack of full understanding of what addiction means and what it brings. And without that understanding, it's just a fact pushed aside somewhere.
You allowed me to integrate and feel part of this house.
Chandos are not giving up. They've secured £150,000 of private money from Resonance, a local social enterprise scheme.
As a tax break, that's part of the way that we keep the cost down to the social enterprises. So the social enterprises are charged what is probably an expensive mortgage, but there's no security, no personal guarantees, and the investors take that risk.
They've increased the number of beds here too and intend to row to Westminster to raise the need for more funding with MPs. Charlotte Callan for BBC Points West in Bristol.